Okay, by show of hands, how many of you in here actually know what hydraulic fracturing is? Okay, that's good. So, according to the Energy Information Administration, 2/3 of all of the gas we use is actually from hydraulic fracturing. And personally, I'm not connected to this directly, but around middle school, when I was going on the way to San Francisco, you actually see a bunch of these gas wells in like the desert area, and that's actually the machines that are participating in the hydraulic fracturing. So today I'll be talking about what hydraulic fracturing is and its problems, the solutions and alternatives to hydraulic fracturing, and also the result of reduced or zero hydraulic fracturing. So hydraulic fracturing for short is going to be fracking. And also, hydraulic fracturing should be stopped completely because there are a lot of benefits to its economy, but when you look at the negative effects on people, it actually outweighs the positives. So it should be banned from the US in general. Okay, so according to Food and Water Watch.org 2017, hydraulic fracturing or fracking is a destructive process that corporations use to obtain oil and gas. And the reason why it's so destructive is because it's really dangerous for us, which I'll explain in a bit, and also it uses a lot of water. And it actually, in the US, about 72 trillion gallons of fresh water is used for these gas wells. So it's really dangerous for states like California because of the droughts. And according to Low-Key 2015 on alternate.org, studies have shown that these gas wells actually leak the toxic chemicals into the groundwater of neighboring residents. So as you can see on the chart right here, this is the well, and what they do is they shoot water down to the ground into rock formations like a mile down, and what it does is these chemicals put the rocks into high pressure, which causes fissures, and these fissures leak the gas, and that's when they obtain it through hydraulic fracturing. So there are a lot of alternatives to fracking, one being using salt water instead of fresh water. Now, according to MIT, it actually is possible to use salt water. Now, the reason being is that a lot of these gas wells are located in the middle of the United States rather than on the beach. So it would be rather hard to find saltwater sources rather than fresh water. So most of these companies can't afford to go all the way to the ocean and transport salt water to their gas wells. And so businesses like these really only care about profits, and to do so it costs them way too much money to transfer it. And according to Lustgarten 2012 on scientificamerican.com, records show that these gas wells actually leak a lot, and the reason being is because of the equipment and the drills. Typically, these corporations, they are really in denial about whether or not it actually leaks and contaminates the groundwater. Also, it would cost them money, so they wouldn't really be interested in upgrading their equipment. And now that I talked about the alternatives and solutions, I'll be talking about the results of reduced and zero fracking. Greenhouse gases is a controversial issue about this. According to Song 2015 on InsideClimateNews.org, methane that comes out of these gas wells is actually 86 times more potent than carbon dioxide on a 20-year timescale. This meaning, because they're greenhouse gases, they get stuck into the atmosphere, which actually traps heat into our atmosphere and influences global warming. And also, according to conserveenergyfuture.com, fracking can actually cause drought-like situations. So like I mentioned before, in California, it's very dangerous for us to use hydraulic fracturing because California was already in a drought, and by fracking, it actually exemplifies the drought. And with that being said, Droughts can even occur throughout the whole nation just because we're using the fresh water, and without using salt water, we're eliminating our resource of water. So today I discussed hydraulic fracturing and its problems, the solutions and alternatives to hydraulic fracturing, and also what would happen if we reduced or completely banned hydraulic fracturing. Now, for you guys can actually participate in being against hydraulic fracturing. A good way is to switch to an alternative energy source. A really common example is natural gas in a home. We use natural gas to heat our homes and power heaters, whereas you can just get a small electrical heater in your room and use electricity to power that. Also, your car has a lot to do with fracking. By using a car that uses purely gas, you guys are enforcing these companies to frack even more and obtain all of this gas. If you guys are interested in seeing the effects in real life, you can watch Gasland on Netflix. It actually visits the neighboring residents and it shows, like, for example, when someone turns on their sink and they put a lighter next to it, it would actually catch on fire. And that's my presentation.
All right, good job.